Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. Holy sh**. So, I'm not quite sure how to make this video, but for those of you who like to skip, I just ask that you listen for like 10-15 seconds real quick. I want to be clear that I am not trying to badmouth or slander or cause any drama out of this, but this is my shop and there's been a lot of damages. As you can see behind me, like the shop floor is flooded. It's gross. To fill you guys in a little bit, I built this shop last summer and the contractors did a fair job. Like, I mean, the shop is pretty good. To summarize this, long story short, they built the shop, and because of where my shop is, there's a bunch of downhill that runs straight to my shop, and so I contracted them, the people who built my shop, people who do the concrete work, the grading work. I paid them to grade and install a very expensive system. It's a sump pump. It's a transfer pump, commercial grade transfer pump. What happens is we have drains, which PVC pipes running to this one reservoir, and when it fills up at a certain extent, it's supposed to kick on and pump water out. It's what you do whenever you can't always have a French drain, even though we could have had some French drains done, but I think they just didn't feel like doing it. If you guys remember, this actually happened the first rainstorm ever after the shop was built. My whole shop was flooded, kind of like this. This was definitely way worse, and I didn't have as much drywall at the time. But I spent an entire day cleaning it, and I had to end up getting some stuff. Anyways, the reason it flooded the first time about 6 months ago is because they basically routed the PVC incorrectly. They installed the whole thing was just not installed correctly. But they routed it literally to where water could feed back in from my ditch, and it was backclogging my very expensive pump, and that, like, it couldn't do anything. I think it just tripped it. The pump is now burned up, by the way. Now burned up. It's really never worked It's never worked correctly since they installed it. Like, they plugged it in and tested it. Anyway, so I'm getting to the point. I have been texting, I've been playing very nicely for 6 months now, or however long it's been. Since then, I have been trying to get him out here as much as possible. And like after that, I was like, dude, you have to come out. You have to come out. Like, what's going on? This guy warranties his work, allegedly. I've been trying to get him out here to warranty his work. It's like radio silence. And I get it. Contractors have stuff to do. They like to take your money and they like to leave. But that's not the point. If you're warranting your stuff, you should be willing to help. So it took like a month for him to get out here, and they came out here and they didn't actually fix the drain, and they just kind of dug some more of the ditch, which wasn't effective. I'm about to show you some footage, okay? So about 2.5 weeks ago, we got a big rainstorm, and I noticed that the pump wasn't even working anymore. And this is the first time I'd ever gone back there, because I saw that water was kind of flooding through at one area. It was coming through the back a little bit. I was like, that should never happen. Like, it should never come through the drywall. Because I paid you guys to make sure that that didn't happen. And I noticed that the drains weren't even draining, and you could see the drain holes and stuff, but walked around to the back, it just was stagnant. It was stinky. It was gross. There's so much information I'm gonna tell you in this video, so just listen up before you comment, please. Texted him that. I was like, dude, we're about to have a rainstorm. Need you to come out. Need you to come out. Need you to come out. Help me fix this. Didn't hear from him. Then the major rainstorm happens. So I guess now I'll move on to showing you the footage. Well, drains failed again. Hasn't come out to do anything. We can't even get our freaking guys to come out here and fix this. Like, I've been telling them about this issue for 6 months, and they won't come out here and fix it. This happens every time, dude. Luckily I got a squeegee. Golly, dude. It smells like sewage in here. I've been doing this for 20 minutes now. I can't even keep up. It just started pouring even more. There's literally nothing we can do. Everything's fixable, but dude, look at, dude, it's just, you can see it piling in over there. This is not what I wanted to be doing at 11 p.m. on a Monday night. This is what I'm worried about. Dude, that's just oh, it's horrible. It's flooded. Not only did they just not do a good job of grading, I guess, but I can't show you how bad the drains are. Obviously, it's supposed to, it's plugged in way out there and it's supposed to work. But literally a drain's right there Another drain right there, another drain back there. None of them working. We've worked for an hour, and finally we both got. So the thing is though, the floor, like, whatever, that's moppable. Problem is what's inside the walls. It's also, about to be midnight on a Monday. I don't want to be doing this. I paid to not have to do this. I paid a lot to not have to do this. It's so frustrating. This is so hurt. I'm so hurt. All right, it's the next day. I did about an hour more cleanup, some mopping. I found a good use for my big fan. It seems to be drying up a lot of the water, and I figured that if anything got into the walls, the Cool Boss would help. This stuff that's on the ground is so hard to clean up because it's mucky, nasty dirt water that just smears. Kind of scared to go around and look. I've got tons of drywall cracks. There's a huge crack here. It's hard to tell for you guys, but it's starting to bow. Oh, there's a big crack right over there. Ooh. Wow, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I mean, it's like super bowed out. I mean, it's probably bowed out like 2 inches or more. It's gonna suck if that starts messing with where the TV is and like TV falls or something. I think the most frustrating thing is like, this happened 6 months ago and our builder has a 1 year, they claimed he has a 1 year warranty. And I have not this is strike 2 and he's like, I still haven't seen this guy today. He said he would send out somebody. So hopefully we get somebody out here. But what I'm really worried about, got my swaggy boots on. As you can see, the dirt, because water is piling up here, the foundation is already shifted and it's like sunk. So we've got right here, that's a drain. That's just literally not even working. We have like 2 or 3 drains on this side, and then we have like 4 back there. And it comes out, it's a pretty expensive system. It comes out, you can actually see where the power is right there. I'll walk back there in a second, but it comes out and it literally, it's a vacuum and it pumps it to the street. I'm not sure if we got a lemon or if they just chose the wrong one and they didn't do their research or something, but obviously something's not working. We've actually tested voltage out here before and the pump is getting plenty of power. This is where the pump is. It's sunk down. It's underground, a couple feet. By the way, just for the record, my trailer used to be straight right there. Like, it wasn't at a tilt. It wasn't slanted. Like, dirt is like going under, and it's gonna be bad if this keeps on happening. I honestly don't even know where the hell I just raked these leaves. So here's the problem. Keep on getting on to me saying like, well, you gotta make sure there's no leaves in the way. Well, first off, we should have designed it to where we shouldn't have had leaves constantly building up. It smells so bad back here, guys. Air conditioning is just like, it's at a tilt now, it's slanted. I'm no foundation expert, but I've owned houses for a couple years now, and I know that this is really bad. So it stinks, first off. I don't even know where the freaking, like, there's no way to drain it. The really dumb part too is they didn't, I don't know if they just didn't want to dig under the fence. We don't have a drain on that side. So it's really nasty back there all the time. You can't even walk on the other side of the fence. These work very well, by the way. That was the first one of the 2. I was like devastated. I mean, like, my wife, who was 8 months pregnant, had extreme anxiety and was out here helping me shovel water out of the shop at 11:30 p.m. And I told her not to, but she was like, no, this is like, we've worked our whole lives for this. We gotta, anyways. So I was texting him that night, texted him the next morning. Like, I've just like barely heard from him this whole time. He finally says like, okay, fine, I'll send somebody out. Like another day goes by and I was like, dude, I'm tired of this. So I texted him, if somebody's not out here in 24 hours, I am talking to my attorney. And lo and behold, he actually replied this time and sent somebody out that day. And here's where it gets interesting. They came out, the guy looks at it and goes, what do you expect me to do? The guy looks at it and goes, what do you expect me to do? You can't expect us to pay for this. You can't expect for us to do anything. For one, you warranty your work, so yes, I can. And 2, you installed the pumps wrong. It was all negligent installation from the beginning. I've had other contractors out here to look at their work and they're like, this is wrong. Is a big annoyance because like, if you can't do something, don't take somebody's money. You know what I mean? Like, you should have said like, yeah, you should probably get a professional out here. They didn't feel like digging under my fence, so this side of my shop doesn't even have drains, which I didn't know until after the fact. Oh! Very intimate detail, by the way, before I get to this. In our contract, he was supposed to provide gutters, and he didn't. So he gets out here, he's like in a bad mood. Like, you want us to pay for this? I'm like, what do you mean? You want me to pay for this? Like, I have worked my entire life, like grinding through high school, grinding through college, grinding after college. Like, this is my life's work in here. Out of your negligence, you're still gonna expect me. Anyway, so I was pretty heated, but I was like, I played nice, and I was like, whatever. And so next day, I had to end up going to my attorney, and we started talking about some stuff. And there's a lot of stuff I won't say and can't say, so just take that with a grain of salt. But the guy who poured all of our concrete, he left, and he was like, I'll have somebody out this week. I was like, okay, I've heard that for 6 months now. Of course, nobody came out. Drain pump wasn't fixed. Then the bad thing happened. We had another rainstorm. Despite my efforts of like making sure everything was clean and out of the way, like still had standing water, another rainstorm happened, so here we go. All right, this is so stupid, dude. This is even worse. It's even worse than last time. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. Holy sh**. There's gotta be so much stuff that's gonna get ruined. Oh no, dude. This is 30 minutes. It took 30 minutes. Oh my God, I have air suspension in here. This is devastating. All because a couple of contractors didn't feel like losing a little bit of their time and they wanted to keep working on other stuff. Like, dude, who knows what this is gonna ruin? I mean, I don't want to know. Oh my God, I thought last time was bad, bro. I'm like shaking right now. Oh, this is ridiculous. This is gonna take, aside from the damage that this is about to do, not only wall, God, I'm just like, I can't even talk right now. This is hours and hours and hours and hours of cleaning. Oh my God, dude. These walls, oh my God, dude. This is like, dude, like, what do you do? Your life's work just so disrespected. Oh man. I know they didn't ruin the George Strait. I know they didn't do that. Alright, it's almost midnight. There's probably some other storms coming in, but we've gotten most of it out. I don't even know what to do. Day 2. It's still raining. It's caused a lot of damage. I mean, floor's nasty, but it's literally draining out my shop door. I went and picked up, I ordered an industrial-sized non-submersible pump, but that won't be here for a few days. So I had to run to the store in this horrible storm to get a Harbor Freight one. So hopefully that could buy us some time. Oh my God. My drywall people came by and said like, it's up about 3 inches or so all around. It's pretty much ruined. So what I'm gonna do, oh my God, dude. What I have to do, I guess, is run this Harbor Freight pump as full send as possible. It's a 1/4 horsepower, so it should work pretty well. Right around this corner, there's one of the drains that isn't draining. So I'm gonna stick a hose into the drain. I'm gonna feed it out onto my property back that way. But I mean, look how much it's raining. It's crazy. There we go. There we go. We are draining it from underground. This thing's probably gonna run for the next 10, 15, 20 hours. So hopefully it works, but it is down in a drain, which all these drains are connected. So hopefully if it sucks out enough of that water, runs long enough, this groundwater will go down. Damn. That was like one of the hardest moments of it sounds ridiculous. And guys, I will say this, like this shop is a material possession. And I don't think that anybody in life should ever care about material possessions to the extent to where it kills you inside. You know what I mean? I worked for this, I bought it, and like, it's just a thing, you know what I mean? It'll dither away, it won't come with me when I die. But It was so hard to walk out into everything I've ever worked for and just see like, dude, this is because I've been ignored. This is because of a poor install. This is because of people just not giving a about me after I've paid them. I'm not a rude person and I'm not quick to anger, but at this point I was like, something has to be done. Like this is like, this is not okay. Obviously, like, I took every measure that I could. I bought a couple different pumps to make that work, and I sucked all the water out, but those will only work for so long, you know what I mean? I paid for this very expensive commercial grade pump that should be working right now, but is fried, that these guys don't want to come dig back out because it's a waste of their time. Sorry for your time, dude. It's not like I'm busy too. I think one of the most frustrating things is when the guy came out to inspect everything, he's like, almost verbatim, I'm not gonna quote him on this, but he said like, we're not the only contractors. We don't have to come out, like, this is your mess. Why should I have to hire somebody else to come out and fix your mess? The first time it ever had stormed and leaked through, I was like, dude, this is when I just had the back wall done. And the back wall alone was like 10,000 bucks. And I was like, dude, this is so much money that it's going to hurt. Like, I need you guys to come out and fix this. And you know, it ended up costing about 20,000 or something like that to wall the shop in and paint everything. So for those of you who might say, big deal, it's a shop, it has water in it. I'm gonna answer two pretty common questions for that, and somebody says like, well, this is why you should have had drains in your shop. For one, when you put drains in your shop, you have to use a different type of concrete, and it doesn't work that way. You don't just put drains in your floor. The whole point is to not have water in the shop, right? And that's what I paid for, to have the correct system put back there. In the contract, they were also supposed to include gutters, and they didn't, and that has also been a huge hassle. So if we had gutters, this likely would have not happened as badly. Moving on though, the thing about water is it's not about what you see, it's about what you don't see. Water can cause very, very bad long-term damage. For one, I'm already starting to have foundation issues. Because they didn't install pumps on this side of the shop, water has run down and dirt has actually like gone over part of the building. Also, I'm gonna give you guys a little example. With these very nice, expensive walls that I got, they're studded to the floor, just like any house would be. So what you have is behind the drywall, you have 2x4s or whatever it is going all the way to the roof, and then you have structural integrity, whatever. Dead wood that's chopped is dry, but it naturally is like a sponge for water. And so here I have a prime example. This is actually leftover from the shop. It's very soft right now. It's still very wet. Wood is dry here. You can see it's got a nice square shape. This was only sitting on the ground for not very long, but this is what happened. It soaked in all of that water and it completely changed shapes. Now what that does is it pushes out, warps, breaks, cracks the drywall. Now, it's not the worst deal in the world, but it's very expensive to fix. Another thing though is mold. Mold, especially like black mold, it's very, very, very dangerous. And it's incredibly expensive to remove. So there's a lot of things that are underlying on this, like foundation and inside of the walls, that can be super problematic and can cost me 20, 30, 40, I mean, could ruin the shop potentially in the future. I mean, if this foundation cracks anywhere along this, something happens in the foundation around here, I'll never be able to use that lift again. I'd have to re-pour the entire pad and start over. One thing that's been really frustrating about this whole situation is when we did all this, I really wanted crushed concrete around the foundation. For one, that would have left leaves and stuff out of the way, which not that, whatever. I've still raked them and kept them out of the way, but it gives a little cushion around the foundation, and things are less likely to go wrong, you know? I told them from the beginning, I was like, hey, we really need you guys to come out here with crushed concrete. And they said, oh yeah, we'll get you a quote on that. They kept on saying, oh, we'll get you a quote, yeah, we'll do that. And I texted the guy several times saying like, hey, I'd really like some crushed concrete out here, because it would help. At one point in time, I was like, dude, I can ask somebody else to do this. And he said, no, we'll figure it out. Ironically, when he came out here the other day to look at everything, he was like, well, we should have done crushed concrete around there. I was like, I know, I tried to get you guys to do that for 6 months. The last thing I ever want to do is like use my influence to hurt somebody, slander somebody, and I'm not doing that. If you guys follow my Instagram, you have seen post after post of like, this is what happens. And this is what I do for a living. I tell you guys what's going on in my life. So I wanted to inform you guys what the hell is happening. I do think it's important though. I'm a nice guy and I like to stay out of conflict as much as possible. Every lawyer will tell you that all contractors are usually the same. They love to take your money and they'll never talk to you again after you do. Don't hold that to every single contractor, but I never, ever, ever, like, taking legal action is my absolute last resort. I don't ever want to sue anybody. I don't really believe in that. Like, people do it all the time. Like, people tried to sue us before for literally no reason. I just don't think it's right. However, holding people accountable for what's, for one, in a contract, and two, what you say. You know, a handshake doesn't really go a long way anymore, but I still hold that pretty firm. Oh, speaking of, my gutter guys are here. I'm paying another company to do it because they won't come out and do it. In the state of Texas, you have like a cushion for contractors, basically. So I'm not currently in a lawsuit right now. In the state of Texas, you can essentially propose to mitigate the situation. So I sent them a letter, or my attorney sent them a letter and said, hey, legally you have 60 days to make a decision to mitigate. So fortunately, he could probably just kick his shoes back and not give a damn for another 60 days and let my shop keep flooding. Or what he can do is say, like, I'll either pay for the work or I'll come back and at least just like service the pump. Unfortunately, because of that, I'm pretty limited in what I can do right now. There's a lot of people on Instagram too that were just like, sue, 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 sue. Like, people are too sue happy. Don't recommend it, and it's always the very last ditch effort. But if somebody is legally obligated to do something and they're ignoring you, then you gotta do it. And I think it's important to do this to some contractors because a lot of them are the same. And for one, it's gonna teach them a lesson to not screw up, or it's going to teach them a lesson to not say yes to work that they can't do. It keeps people accountable. I'm not looking to like make money off of anything. I'm going to end up spending money, you know, in all this situation, whether monetarily or mentally. Like, a contractor usually is like, okay, I probably shouldn't do this again. So honestly, at the end of this, like, I'm hoping for the best. I really don't want drama. I don't want like crazy stuff to happen, and I'm not trying to crap on a company. You know, I get it, but this is a really serious deal that has been blown off for too long. And this, like, behind me is the effect of not giving a shit after you've collected a paycheck. So I was gonna upload last week, but I have been unable to film because of all this. Like, this has forced me to take days off of work whenever I really wanted to, and it's forced a lot of money out of my account. This is going to cost a lot of money to fix if it's not fixed really, really soon. So don't like, leave it alone. Leave it alone, it'll be taken care of, but I just wanted you guys to know what all was going on. So now I'm gonna have to spend 2 or 3 days cleaning the shop and likely looking for things that might be potentially ruined. No matter what, I always give daily advice for my videos, and what I wanna encourage you guys with today is just like this. Like, I need this to be fixed, and it is a serious, serious problem, but at the end of the day, your material possessions are just that. They're stuff that'll wither away in the future when you're gone, whatever. Like, it won't, cars, buildings, shops, trucks, video games, guitars, you know, whatever it is, like, it's all temporary. And so I want to encourage you guys to not cling on to what is temporary in life. Don't obsess over and cling on to the things that will not be forever. Take that how you will. I think there's a lot to be thought about for that. So take that how you will, think about it, write it down, whatever you gotta do. But I will obviously keep you guys updated, and I'll say what I can. But hopefully this doesn't come to a bad point. But we'll see. I'd really love to get back to work on my cars, but this has really hindered some stuff. Follow my Instagram, by the way, my story. I post on my story more than I post on my actual feed, but I'll keep you guys involved as much as I can, just to let you guys know, like, what my life is what my life's looking like right now. Love you guys, and I will see you guys next video. Peace. Hey, I got 2 videos for you guys to watch. It helps a lot if you watch either of them. Also, it helps if you subscribe and make sure those notifications are on. Notifications on is key.